My name is Corey LeVier, and I am the voice of Axel. I've always been interested in doing voices and voiceover since a young age. I remember watching Aladdin for the first time when I was younger, and if you grew up in the 90s, Robin Williams was in every kid's movie.
I don't care what I am! I'm free!
Offer void, we're prohibited by law.
I knew who he was and I knew his voice, so when I heard his voice coming out of Genie, I was entranced about that. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Why is his voice coming out of this character that's not... I'm so confused, because I didn't understand it at that point, but I knew, and I asked my dad, and he explained what voiceover was, and I thought that was really cool. So after that, I just fell in love with voices and the craft itself, but I never really pursued it until later on in life. But what ultimately got me that push into actually trying my hand at it was Rob Paulson, the voice of Yakko Warner, Carl Weezer, Pinky. He had a podcast back in the day called Talkin' Tunes, and he would interview other voice actors in the industry. Each episode he would ask them, how did you get started? And I just did it. I wanted to do this, I love this, and I recorded tapes, I sent them out to agencies, and I just did this. So I grabbed a USB microphone that I got from Guitar Hero World Tour, plugged it into my laptop that I had at the time, jumped on my bed, pulled the comforter over my head, and I started screaming and doing voices into a microphone. And that's ultimately how I got started into it, and it's been amazing ever since. I would say Axel is loving, caring, and a bit judgmental. It kind of encompasses his whole approach to his outlook on life. He wants certain things, but some things hold him back from getting what he wants. You feel for Axel throughout this entire pilot, and at the end, you're like, that's awesome. I love this transformation. He's also introverted in the way that he expresses himself. In my own upbringing, I have an older sister. She's 2.5 years older than me, so we're still relatively close in age, but there was some strain because she wants to, do her thing and be independent and not deal with her little brother. And I'm just like, let me be a part of your life. There's this strain I could connect with when it came to voicing Axel and kind of transfer that wanting and need to be with my sibling and have them be a part of my life. Xander's off doing his thing and he's doing big things, and Axel's just kind of in the background, I'm here, but don't forget about me. And now it's kind of the same thing. I've moved on to a new location to bigger and better things with my family, but I don't want to leave my family behind. I try to stay in touch with them all the time and, let them know that they're always at the forefront of my mind. The one thing I truly enjoyed was the growth of the characters just through the span of the animation. It's it was cool, and I truly loved what was put together, and being able to bring it to life just made it that much more enjoyable. One of the key things to being a voice actor is you got to love what you're doing, and then you got to love what you're recording, because if you're not loving what you're recording, it's going to show it in your performance. It's a complete story that flows into the next part and leads to this awesome climactic ending, and it's really cool. I really love how everything came together for it. When I was younger, I was very reserved. I wasn't outspoken, and I didn't like to express myself or my emotions. My communication skills were horrible. That itself was easy to connect with when it came to Axel, because he is reserved at times and he doesn't really express what's on his mind. As the pilot progresses and as I got older, my whole personality changed. I was more outgoing. I wasn't reserved. I wasn't afraid to communicate and say what's on my mind. A lot of my performance with Axel came from me and my own experiences, so it was easy to connect with him and gravitate towards him. I didn't really have to pull from anything else or be outside of who I normally am. From our youth to our adulthood, we grow and evolve, and we see this growth and evolvement for Axel just in this short span of time, and I was able to connect with that evolution, and that was the cool thing about it. We went through a bunch of iterations of deliveries and lines. There was a lot of back and forth, and coming up with this concise approach that made the deliveries just so much better than what we initially started with. You should always hold family close to your heart. Doesn't matter how busy in life you get, how far away you live, always make time. It's been 3 years in production, and we're finally coming to that release date, and it's going to be so joyful. I'm just definitely proud of all of the hard work that's been put into this, and dedication and heart and blood, sweat, and tears, and all those analogies that just go to show you how much this project has been loved. I really hope that the audience takes the message of family as the important theme here. There's so many good themes that you can take away from Mr. Vessel, and I'm just excited for the audience to see it and enjoy it and talk about it and let us know what they think about it, because this has been an awesome project to be a part of, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of it. I'm so excited and I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait for the release.